Hello and welcome to 100 Yards of Football Sports Talk Radio. I'm your producer this evening, Logan Landers. And tonight we got a very special NFL draft prospect profile on a young man coming out of South Carolina from the Gamecocks by way of Waycross, Georgia, Mr. Ernest Jones. He's a linebacker who's looking to prove his worth coming into the NFL draft. Now, you guys know I can't do these videos alone. I always got to have a co-host with me. And I'm spoiled, man. Each and every Wednesday for the last couple of weeks, I've been spoiled a lot. I've been getting a lot of great knowledge from this man. I've been learning a lot about these young players. And this is a man, not just named Mr. Football, but someone who represents the 901, Memphis, Tennessee on his back each and every show. The Football Encyclopedia, Vincent Turner. How you doing, Vince?
Thank you very much, and thank you for giving shout outs to my hometown down on the Mississippi River, Memphis, Tennessee. It's always a pleasure and an honor.
Yes, sir. Hey, gotta represent the hometown. I'm coming out of Douglasville, Georgia. We know the territory very well. We got a young man coming out of Waycross, so he ain't too far away from us. So we got Ernest Jones. But first, before we get started, hey, if you guys are enjoying this video, whether it's live on YouTube, on Facebook, or even on Twitch, first off, thank you guys for tuning in and watching our program this evening. If you enjoy podcasts, we also have a podcast as well over on Spotify, Apple, iTunes, anywhere you listen to your audio experiences. You can find all of our previous draft profiles that we've done, all of our old game previews. You can see if we got the scores right, all of our amazing interviews that we have each and every week with a whole load of guests, whether it's former coaches or former players. We have a whole lot of great stuff over here. We also have some community segments as well, which are always giving back to our local community. And we got a lot of great content here over at 100 Yards Football. So if you haven't already, go check out our old stuff. And always be sure to have that notification on, see our new stuff coming out every Monday and Wednesday. We got a lot of great content, and we hope you enjoy it all. And just like today, Vince, we got a good one. Ernest Jones, the linebacker out of South Carolina. Why don't you tell the fans what you like about this young man and how he's going to fare in the NFL draft?
I'm going to tell you, I get excited when I talk about Ernest Jones. This is a football player, a tackling machine at South Carolina his time now. A guy to get the chill bumps going, old school linebacker. A guy can make it happen. The first thing I like about Mr. Ernest Jones, he's 6'2", 230 pounds. He probably going to get to the NFL. He's going to be probably playing at 240. When we look at his game film, the young man is what I call perfect picture of a linebacker. Let me give you his grade report. Sideline to sideline with speed, A+, similar to the great ones like Mike Singletary and the young man out of the University of Miami, Ray Lewis. I'm not going to say he's on the same level like Ray Lewis, but I'm talking about sideline to sideline. He's physical at the point of contact. He brings the wood, as we say, back in the neighborhood. Then leadership, A+, named team captain this year. And most of all, very good coverage linebacker. A linebacker who knows and understands the game in all facets. But you know I'm very high on the production. In his 3 years at South Carolina, 199 tackles, 10.5 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, 2 interceptions. But in 2020, he was a terror. Against LSU, he had 19 tackles. Came back the following week against Ole Miss, 18 tackles. Came back to Vanderbilt, 3 tackles for loss and 11 tackles. And finally, in 2019, he had 12 tackles against Georgia in an upset win. This guy is phenomenal. Outstanding football player. Excited about him. And he's going to be a guy that's going to be very productive at the next level. And then I just mentioned 2 great linebackers who remind me of Mike Singletary and Ray Lewis. But I'm going to take you back. Super Bowl III, the Kansas City Chiefs. He got a little Willie in him. And then kudos with his skill set to a linebacker that did it big down in the Big Easy. He's in heaven right now. My man, Mr. Sam Mills. And then when you want to talk about linebackers on the college level that Mr. Jones reminds me of, remember Donnell Ellenby with the University of Georgia. Remember Barry Krause at the University of Alabama. Remember the great David Little, the University of Florida. Outstanding middle linebacker that went on to a great career with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Then you got to think about Grady Turner at the University of Houston when I was there from 78 to 82. And then finally, He's got some Alvin Toes from the University of Tennessee, who was a first-round pick with the Cincinnati Bengals. I love this young man here. He is a football player, and he's going to be productive the next level, and I wouldn't be surprised if he'd be a Pro Bowl player.
Ooh. Hey, that's some lofty predictions, but I could definitely see it. This man's got all the talent you want and a good quality linebacker. Like you said, Vince, he's got that side-to-side, that sideline speed, which is what you love to see in the NFL. You got to be quick at the linebacker position, and you got to hit hard too. And Mr. Ernest Jones, he can do all that and then some, and then some. And like you always know, Vince, I like to give my 3 teams who I think this young man will be a grade A fit for and can produce day one. That being said, my first team is a team that just picked up a good quality linebacker, but they still need someone to pair with him coming into this 2021 NFL season, and that is the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers just today, they have just signed Denzel Perryman, who was with the Chargers the last few seasons. He's a good linebacker. They needed some help with that role. I got a young one, though. I think Ernest Jones and Denzel Perryman, that might be an underrated combo in the 2021 NFL season that you might want to watch out for that one now. My second team, our man Daniel Kelly would love this one. I got the Washington football team. And Vince, you brought up a good point with that speed that this young man has. That's exactly what the WFT, the Washington football team, that's what they need. They need a speedy linebacker who can get from point A to point B in just a few seconds. Ernest Jones, he's got all that and then some. He looked good in that burgundy and gold too. And finally, my third team that I have him headed to is a team who had a really good 2020 season, couldn't get the job done completed, but I think that if they add a couple of more pieces, especially at the linebacker position with Ernest Jones, they might reach it. That's the Cleveland Browns. The Brownies had a good year last year, Vince, but they do have a little bit of a hole at the linebacker position. We don't know if B.J. Goodson's going to come back, and if he doesn't, well, you got to have that hole to fill. And what better way than with big boy? It was Ernest Jones from South Carolina going down there to Cleveland where it's pretty chilly. But he's got a good team around him, though, to warm him up. And they're going to get a lot of wins if they get Ernest Jones. So, hey, be sure to leave a comment if you think that Ernest Jones is going to head to either the Carolina Panthers, the Washington football team, or the Cleveland Browns. But if you don't agree with my picks, that's all good. I still love each and every one of you out there for watching the show. Let us know in the comments, though, what team you think Ernest Jones would be a great fit for. We love to see it, and we love to interact with all the fans here. But those are my 3 picks. Now, if I had to pick a team that I think Ernest Jones will make the greatest impact for day one, coming out of the draft, going into the training camps and getting on the field, I got to go with the Washington football team, honestly, Vince. I think he'd be a great fit, and he could potentially, like you said, you can see a few Pro Bowls, but I think he could be an anchor at that defensive position for the linebackers in a few years once he gets his feet wet in the NFL. I think he'd look great, and I think he'd be a wonderful fit for the Washington football team. So, Daniel Kelly, if you're watching this, just know I get love for you over here, bro. We got you. So that's where I think Ernest Jones would be a wonderful fit for. But, Vince, give me your final words on Ernest Jones, the young man out of South Carolina.
Like I said, I love the young man. I think he's going to be a player at the next level. He's a very productive linebacker, as you see. He finished his career with over 199 tackles. The guy was always around the ball. Look at the games he had. LSU, 19 tackles. Ole Miss, 18 tackles. 11 tackles against Vanderbilt, 3 tackles for loss. That's a guy that's getting production in and sideline to sideline. I think he's one of the better linebackers coming into the 2021 NFL draft. And my final words about Ernest Jones, I'm going to say it like the band out of England, Duran Duran. It's election day. It's going to be election day for Ernest Jones in the 2021 NFL draft.
Yeah, that's a great song, first off. But we always hope that, Ernest, we hope you have a great career in the NFL representing the state of Georgia, brother. We hope you have a wonderful, storied career, get a few Pro Bowls in your system. Potential Hall of Fame might be calling if you keep up the way the potential you got there. Did you ball out South Carolina in the SEC, which is tough going at it? And we'll see if you can do it in the NFL. We got all the faith in the world in you, and we know we can do it. So, hey, Ernest Jones, best of luck to you in the NFL. That's been our draft profile breakdown of the young man out of South Carolina. We expect great things out of him, just like all the people that we talk about here on the show. We know they're going to be great. They just got to prove it to us, and I know that Ernest Jones especially, he's going to do a great job. Well, hey, if you guys have enjoyed this video here today, first off, thank you for watching us, whether you're live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. We appreciate all the interaction, whether you're liking the video, commenting what team you think this man's going to head to, or sharing it to all the Facebook groups, whether it's the South Carolina Facebook group, any of the teams you think he might head to. We appreciate all the hospitality. Also, if you enjoy podcasts, we do have our podcast as well. Just type in 100 Yards of Football, whether you're on Spotify. But if you don't enjoy Spotify too much, I don't blame you. We also got a lot of great other places you can view us as well, such as Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, you name any audio platform. 9 times out of 10, we are on there. Brought to you by the Believe Podcast Network, who've been helping us out tremendously over the last few months. We've been doing some great numbers over there, and we can't do any of this without you guys tuning in, listening to our show, and we appreciate you a lot. Well, hey, for Mr. Football, Vincent Turner, dropping his great knowledge on Mr. Ernest Jones, the young man out of South Carolina. I've been your producer this evening, Logan Landers, and stay tuned because we have some more great content coming to you in just a little bit right here on 100 Yards of Football.